Hey, everybody. Welcome to the monthly mindset call that I've been doing for quite a while now. But this year, 2023, I've made an attempt to create a workbook to go along with every topic for each month. And this month is all about healing because I have been on this pursuit of better health for quite a while now. And more recently, I chose to get my breast implants removed. I've been recovering from surgery. Therefore, I've been doing all kinds of things to work on further healing my body. So last month, we covered the ways and benefits of being organized to motivate you to tackle your spring cleaning. And this month, I'd like to direct our focus to further healing our bodies. If you did not receive an email with the workbook for the top that goes along with this month's topic, then please comment below and let me know, and I'll make sure that you get the workbook for this month. So I know that we are all about healing our bodies by eliminating harmful foods from our diet, right? But tonight, I want to make sure that we cover both the physical and the mental aspects of healing our bodies. And let's ensure that we have a good balance between the two. Many of you have been able to see tremendous improvements in your health and symptoms since doing the shred protocol. And there are some of us who are still in the process of healing, like me. And I'm sure you can all think of a symptom or two that may still be lingering. Quick background on my shred story, in case any of you are new here. In 2019, I noticed a drastic decline in my health, and I've had skin issues for years, but in 2019, it got progressively worse. So I decided to go vegan, thinking that was the answer. Following medical medium protocols, celery juice every day. So I have been doing celery juice every day for quite some time now. I mean, I haven't noticed any drastic changes. I was really hoping to see some improvements with my skin, and so far I haven't seen anything. My skin became so inflamed that I didn't even want to leave the house. I was at my all-time low. My hair was just breaking off. I was literally covered in welts all over my face, my chin, my neck, my chest, and my back. And at the same time, Sean was also experiencing his own health crisis, as he too was eating mostly vegan, since those were basically the only meals that I was making. And we also watched that documentary Game Changers, which had us totally convinced that the plant-based diet was the way to go. So he was mostly on board about adapting this whole new lifestyle of plant-based diet. So in desperation, after it'd been months had passed and neither one of us were feeling any better, in fact, we were feeling worse, he called one of his vegan friends out of desperation, hoping for some kind of advice, like, tell us how to do this better. Like, what are we missing here? But turns out his vegan friend was no longer vegan because he had discovered so many of his own health issues, and he actually ended up in the hospital with leaky gut and other health issues. I think he was on about 6 years as a vegan, and it was just something that ended up making him feel worse. What we found out, his friend had jumped on the carnivore train and was able to regain his health by basically going the opposite direction, eliminating vegetables and going more meat-based. The carnivore diet is strictly meat, if any of you are unfamiliar with that. So at that point, Sean and I, we were at our rock bottom and we were just open to trying anything. So we went all in on the whole carnivore thing. But, after just a couple weeks into it, we were just very mindful of like, okay, now how is this going to be sustainable? Is this healthy? Like, can you really not eat any fiber, and all of the things that we had a lot of questions about. We were feeling very skeptical about, eating only meat, and we were mindful of the deficiencies with the carnivore diet. So that's when we added the other components of shred to offset any nutritional deficiencies from using meat as the sole foundation. We essentially bridged the ancient way of eating with modern day advances. And we both came alive and experienced tremendous improvements. Back in 2020, we shared a lot about it online, and it was just an exciting time for us to truly start to notice improvements in our own health and to start seeing results. And for me, I began to notice my skin was finally beginning to clear up. But about a year in and attempting to introduce a little more variety to my diet, I noticed my skin flaring up again here and there. So I went back to eliminating things, but nothing seemed consistent. It was very confusing. I couldn't pinpoint what specifically I was eating that caused the flare-ups. So that's when I started considering other culprits like environmental toxins and suppressed emotions. So, as you all know, I posted about this back in November, back in the fall, this in 2022, I had the most horrific outbreak. It was a rash that started on the back of my legs and eventually covered my entire body. It was so painful and itchy, and I basically spent 2 weeks in bed. It completely wiped me out physically and emotionally. I even went to 2 different doctors and nobody could tell me what the cause was. I was just so defeated. And at that point, I finally knew I needed to allow myself to start considering other potential culprits and culprits that I did not want to look at. It was like I was getting little nudges from all different angles, but I just was trying really hard not to see it. I just did not want to eliminate this one thing. 2 things, I guess you can say, my breast implants. So now looking back, I can see that my rash was a combination of emotional and physical contributors. It was literally the perfect storm. And I really believe that we cannot heal our minds without healing our bodies, and we cannot heal our bodies without healing our minds. It goes hand in hand. There's no way of getting around it. We live in this physical world, which means that at least half the time we have to be open to understanding our physiology, the laws of nature, and how we evolved over the last 10,000 years or so. And, as much as I believe in the power of the mind, and we can't necessarily say that if you just believe something is not toxic, then that's all you need, right? I believe in the law of attraction, but there is a fine line that I hope we aren't overlooking. I don't want us to allow the law of attraction concept to cloud our critical thinking and logic. Ignorance is bliss, right? Until it's not. Until something bad happens, until you get injured in a car accident because you decided not to believe the statistics about car accidents, therefore you didn't see a need to wear a seatbelt. I believed 100% that the vegan diet was the best way to achieve optimal health, but it done did me wrong.
To cleanse day 1, bone broth.